Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today I want to go over a pub I played last night. And this was a game where I had like a really free Lycan game, and I felt that I threw it. This isn't really going to be too Lycan specific. I want to more so focus on kind of like cool plays you can make in your pubs to shut down the enemy team, to close down winning games, and really to take advantage of the leads that you gain just throughout random points in the game. Because this is a game where I snowball my lane, like I'm same net worth as an Alk. So obviously as a Lycan who tends to have a bad laning stage, my game was extremely good. I'm like unbelievably farm, and yet I still wasn't able to carry this game. So there's a couple plays I could have made to change that. And my team throws a couple times here and there. So I also want to talk about like the mistakes that they make. So this really isn't going to be that Lycan specific. It's going to be about how to just shut down the game, because I was pretty frustrated about this loss. I won most of my games up until now. I was like 4-2, and then I lost this game. So I was pretty upset with this loss. So let's get into it. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like literally with the GameLeap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like actually you want to become much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the GameLeap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. Alright, so the first point of the game where I was like relatively frustrated, I don't really get angry at my teammates, and I think it's honestly very important when you're trying to gain MMR in solo queue. I think it's very important that you just don't get distracted too much with your teammates. So upcoming here was the first big mistake that my team made that I felt really threw off our tempo. Because at this point in the game, we're like super strong. The enemy team is pretty poor. It's not that they can't fight. They have a blink dagger on Tiny. They actually don't have Witchblade on Puck. But their Alk, you know, he's not really in a position to fight yet. He's farmed, but he's not in a position to fight. And to be fair, we kind of have a shitty team comp. We don't really have a stun for Lycan, which is unfortunate, right? We don't have like a great disable, but it's besides the point. We can kill the enemy team either way. We still can Wyvern slow them, Malefice them if they go out of position. It's whatever. But basically, my team dies bottom here, and I want to go over this as a whole idea, because they're gonna take this like engagement bottom, and it's just such, in my opinion, it's just like a misunderstanding of how our map should be played. And you could argue I could TP in, and I thought about this, right? I was really like, oh, maybe I could have TP'd in here, right? Maybe I can go, because they actually messed up pretty hard. Maybe I can make this play. But the issue is, it really just, based on how our map is set up, it just doesn't really feel like they're looking. Like, yeah, the Tiny messed up his initiation, which makes it feel like it could be a theoretically good fight. The problem is, this Dawnbreaker is not like that strong. She didn't even really go a hard early game item build. She's rushing Odessa, which is fine. It's really kind of besides the point. But I have Shapeshift, and I want to connect to the fight. But if I TP in, like, I'm going to be late to this fight as is, and I'd have to TP Outpost. So I think if I TP right away, this could be okay. But even Enigma wasn't there either. Like, we have this Enigma with Black Hole on cooldown. We had a Wyvern with Curse on cooldown. It just doesn't really feel like a... Not even it doesn't feel like. It's not a situation to fight. If you guys are trying to win your games, you got to look at your teammates. You got to look at your cooldowns. And it really felt like my team just was not paying attention to my to my positioning, to my Enigma's positioning, my Enigma's cooldown, my Wyvern's cooldown. It just felt like a forced fight. Because if you look at the map previous to that, what is the enemy team farming? Like, answer this question for me, guys. What are they farming? Enemy team. Look at their heroes. What is Puck farming right now? Nothing. What is Tiny farming right now? Nothing. He rushed Blink Dagger. The guy, he can't kill creeps. He doesn't even have mana to combo the camps. He'll run out of mana. This Alk is their only hero farming, because they can't farm this conveniently, right? They can't go to here, because then we could probably punish them. They don't want to go that deep. The only camps they have access to is this and their triangle. That's like 5 camps. Okay, maybe the small camp. 6. They have access to 6 camps. We have access to arguably this camp and this camp, maybe this camp, right? And then the whole other side of the map, as well as eventually mid tower and Roshan. And we can Rosh. For sure. We have Lycan. We can Rosh. So it's just like, you just have to understand, when you own, you need to look at the map and say, what do we own? You don't need to force engagements when you own 80-70% of the map. You don't. And this happens all the time in pubs. People will be winning the game so hard. Even though we're only 1k net worth up, we're way more than 1k net worth up. We're against an Alk, and our lead is going to expand due to our map control. And like, I can pressure their tier 3. Like, I literally nearly take their tier 3. I can force them back. So I can also force them back. Because I can force them back, then we can even look to invade this area with only 3 heroes, 2-3 heroes. We could literally potentially own 90% of the map, and we don't, because we throw it away. My 2 teammates die. My Enigma gets kicked out. I think he dies here. No, okay. Doesn't matter. Even whether or not he dies, it doesn't matter. But he gets kicked out. And our play should have just been to take mid tower. Should be collapse on mid, right? We did not need to force the issue. Who cares if their Alk is farming? You might be like, oh, you gotta shut down the Alk. No, you don't. Like, are there situations where you can gank Alk? Yeah, but we don't have heroes really that are good at invading jungle. We don't have like a kill combo. I mean, can we just like an ulti and run in? Yeah, we could, and that could work, right? As we actually, we just kill off the puck. But we should have made this mid play way earlier, because really, I'm so close to my Helm of Overlord, which I get at 13 minutes, I'm Giga Farm. And we can still win this game, by all means. This game is still favorable for us. It is. Like, the enemy team's offlaner and mid are poor as shit. They're poor. So, once again, I don't mind Enigma playing bottom. I think Enigma can play bottom. I think Dawnbreaker's supposed to farm these few camps. I think the Medusa can farm triangle plus mid, plus like this camp. I think Medusa could farm this and this, plus mid. Dawn can farm like these camps. I honestly think our draft is crappy, which I don't want to focus too much on in this video, but I think Dawn and Lycan is a bit repetitive because, not repetitive, we have too many heroes that need to farm. Dawn, Lycan, and Dusa all want to farm. Dawn is a mid laner. It's a mid Dawn, by the way. She wants to farm because this hero needs items to scale. She needs like a BKB, a Bling, Shard, Deso. She wants to get all these items to scale. Like, her hero falls off if she's not scaling with items, where you could have like Void Spirit or a tiny mid, and it's not like they need a million items to be impactful or as impactful. And so that's kind of the problem with our draft to an extent. It's not that it can't work, it can work. Once again, it's fine. But either way, as we move on, we're continuing to control the top side of the map. I'm going to get an Ancient Creep in a moment here. And now we can look to really just close down the map. And that's fine. So our Wyvern dies bottom, whatever, doesn't really matter. We're going to get Roche in a moment. So we get Roche. Things are looking good, right? Only a 1k deficit in their favor, which realistically I think we should be ahead if we just didn't kill ourselves. But it's okay, right? Like, we all make mistakes. And then we get Roche. So now we have Aegis, we smoke. This is where, once again, I needed to communicate to my team. This is where we really threw the game. And part of me feels like it's my mistake. Part of me feels like it's my team's mistake. Let's get into it. So I draw a line. I even drew a line in the game, and I think I told my team just come top, because the enemy team can D-push, but they really don't have a good way to kill the Ancient Creep, because the Ancient Creep doesn't take very much magic damage. It really doesn't. And neither do Wolves. So we could poke the high ground. And by the way, I sieged the tower earlier. So this tower could be sieged. Instead, my team doesn't follow my line at all, which I needed to. I guess I wasn't paying attention to the map, or I wasn't communicating. Either way, I didn't get them on the same page with me. And now it's like, they just go mid like this. I mean, they make this mid dive, and it's like they're going on a Tiny, who's stupid tanky. And to be fair, we have Midnight Pulse and Wyvern Q. But I don't know, I really just don't know what my supports are doing. Like, I don't want to connect to this. I feel like Dawnbreaker ulting offensively and having to black hole a Tiny, an off-lane Tiny, is just not good. Like, because even if I'm here and this guy dies, right? Which the Tiny doesn't die, and you could argue that's the reason we lose the fight, right? Which it's not. I guess it's part of it, obviously. But, like, I was looking here and I'm like, should I feel bad about not connecting? But this is once again where you just have to, like, from Dawnbreakers and Wyvern's perspective, I'm not trying, and people will take what I'm saying here as like a flame, like I'm trying to make these players like look bad. I don't, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to talk about like good Dota, right? What in my opinion is good Dota, and I just don't feel like they're looking at me, right? And to some extent, I'm not looking at them, right? Because I could have seen them diving here and reacted way earlier. Like, I kind of, like, by the time I react, the fight was going on for like 5-10 seconds, and so I 100% should have connected. 100% I should have connected here. Like, realistically, does this puck die if I'm here? Maybe puck dies if I'm here. You probably would orb out and be fine. But, like, it's just a horrible fight location. Once again, we have Aegis. We're strong. We don't need to force the issue immediately. On top of that, we could go farm 70-80% of the map again. Because I'm Lycan, I can farm topside with no help, because I can use units. So I could farm topside 30% of the map alone. Dawn, Wyvern, Enigma could theoretically go smoke into here, kick the Alk out with this really good ward that we have, and farm this, and Dusa can farm this. We could farm 80% of the map with this Aegis. We don't need to force. We don't need to force. And this is a big reason why most of you guys will never get better. Everyone thinks being good at Dota is like playing fast. Or like trying, and what I mean by playing fast is that's such a misunderstood idea. People think like playing fast is killing. It's not killing. It's not killing. Playing fast, generally being good and playing fast, are there aspects of killing? Of course. Like, of course, sometimes getting kills in certain games is good. But when you have a very greedy team comp, look at my heroes. Is my team comp greedy or not? It's super greedy. Does it mean we can't fight early? No, but we have a Dusa who needs to scale. Dusa doesn't want to connect to this fight. Look where it is. She doesn't want to connect to this fight. It's far away from me, right? Could I have connected? Yes, but it's so far away, so it's inconvenient, and we have an Enigma. This is not a hero that owns at this point in the game. It doesn't own. Wyvern, I mean, it's strong right now, but it doesn't, like, these fights are just not good for Wyvern. Because it's near their tower, right? It's like inconvenient. And now their Alp can show up, Dusa can't show up. It's inherently, best case, a 4v5. Best case scenario, it's a 4v5, right? I mean, what happened was it was a 3v5, and we just throw again. Like, now we Giga throw, I had to shapeshift defensively, which feels horrible. I also make a big mistake here. This was my biggest mistake of the game, I would argue, from my personal gameplay. This is so throwy by me. So I shapeshift defensively, and I have no idea why, but I run mid, which is so bad, because anyone on my team can farm mid. I'm like the only hero that can comfortably farm a side lane, like safely. Maybe Enigma can too. Dawn is even a bit dangerous, because they have tons of magic damage and jump heroes. So even she has to be a little careful. I have no idea why I run mid here. It's so bad. I should be putting pressure on the top side. Once again, when we're ahead with a Lycan or a Beastmaster, any unit hero or any hero, even if you don't have a unit hero, when you're ahead and you can like constantly shove in a wave this deep, it forces them back. It's gonna force them back. Instead, I like feed my Helm Dom creep like a bot. I'm like, whoa. I watched the replay. I'm like, what am I doing? It was so, I was so sad to watch this. I'm like, what am I doing? I could be 100% pressuring in the top side of the map. Then I could come get this Ancient creep, and I could be forcing so much pressure top. Our team comp sucks because we don't have a hero that can threaten with my units. Like, if we have a +1 stun, this puck can't shove this lane, which is why having like Tiny with Lycan or Tusk or Void Spirit is really important, because you don't have a stun, you need a stun. You do a ton of damage, so you need a stun. We don't have a stun. It's kind of crappy, but either way, it just, I don't know, it was just so meh. Like, we end up taking this fight here, which this was another throwing point in the game. So we take this fight, we kill the Witch Doctor. Unfortunately, Enigma dies. Alp barely gets out. I should have hit him. I can't believe I didn't hit him to cancel his blink. That was... Ugh, I felt so bad about that one too. Unfortunate small mechanical mistake. Well, I guess not small. But once again, a fight breaks out, so it's not looking good. I think we could have gotten out here, so we could have full backed. And I once again make the mistake of not microing my units. So like, this is not a fight. Like, it's not. Our Deuce is out of mana. We have no Stone Gaze. We do have Black Hole and Curse, but we have no Vessel charges, and Black Hole and Curse on support. Like, it's just not going to do enough. Like, it's just not. Our Dawnbreaker's just not really strong at this point in the game either. She just doesn't have Shard. It's just not a fight. Like, it's super not a fight. And I make the bad reaction of, number one, not fully disengaging. Like, I need to know that this is a bad fight due to the fact that Deuce is out of spells. I have no Shapeshift. I should just run into these trees and send my units at this top creep wave. Because if I do that, yeah, we're going to lose some heroes, but the enemy team will have no map control. And they have no map control. So, like, yeah, they'll be able to farm a little bit, but they're not really going to get anything out of the map. So I could have just sent my creep top and went into the tree line. I wouldn't die. But instead, I take this horrible path. I take probably the only path that gets me killed, which is so sad. And I'm not pushing in topside. If I sent my wolves and unit to top, I'd get their tier 3. And then my team wouldn't be baited to stay around here. But they were, and they died. And then I think Dawn is fine. But yeah, this is going to be the end of today's video. I had a couple more points which I could have talked about, but I covered a few of them. The only other main one was this small engagement at minute 26, where I actually thought I played the fight very well. I'll quickly cover it. So I get Shapeshift. Basically, at this point in the mid game, it's more about your fight selection. So I did a really good job of late BKBing. I thought about what would kill me, so I moved my camera down here and I BKB the Tiny jump. He was a little bit slow on jumping. I don't really know what this jump was from Tiny. He should have comboed me or something. I wouldn't have died to it, to be fair. I was completely fine either way, but my target priority was good here. I felt like chasing the Tiny would have been a mistake. he still had Yules and Force Staff, so I wasn't going to be able to kill him. And so instead, I just instantly kill off their Zeus, which is a huge kill. That guy was really farmed. I got 1,000 gold for that kill. And then from there, I actually just instantly take out their Witch Doctor. So 2 of their heroes get nothing off. And we convincingly win this fight. So, thought that was good. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you like these types of analysis, let me know. I really love making these types of analysis where I just get to talk about the game and just like go over my passionate thoughts of Dota. I love Dota. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.